Now, by keeping each and every compensation method, by following each and every compensation method, we will draw the constructional diagram. So this is a constructional diagram of single phase induction type energy meter. So I'm giving the constructional diagram at the last because we need to understand each and everything. Why we need two coils. One is the shunt and the series coil to create the driving torque, and why we need a braking magnet to create the braking torque, and why we need diametrically opposite holes at the on the aluminum disc. Right. So we need to understand each and everything. That's why I am giving the diagram at the last. Now, if you observe here, these are the saturable shunt magnets. So, this is the, let me take the pointer. So, this is a saturable shunt magnet placed in between two series coils. It will divert the extra flux created during overload condition. And here also these two are again saturable shunt magnets. These two will divert the extra flux which is created due to increase in voltage, increase in supply voltage. And these are the shunt coils and these are the series coils. Shunt coils carry the current which is proportional to the supply voltage, and the series coils carry the current which is proportional to the load, which is proportional to the load current, right? And this is the aluminum disc which is placed in between the shunt coils and the series coils, and these are the two holes that are provided on the aluminum disc in order to avoid the, sorry, in order to minimize the creeping error. And this is a permanent magnet arrangement which is used to produce the braking torque, right? So here we have three systems basically in case of energy meter. One is the driving system, and another one is the braking system. The third one is a registering system. The third one is registering system. Okay, so this is the third one. So what is the purpose of driving system? The driving system purpose is to make the aluminum disc to rotate. Okay. The driving system purpose is to make the aluminum disc to rotate. So what are the things which are responsible for that? The magnetic field produced in the shunt coil and the magnetic field produced in the series coils is responsible for producing driving torque. This comes under driving system. So under driving system, we have shunt coils, we have series coils, supply as well as load. In addition to that, we also have the spindle. If you observe the blue dotted lines, this is the spindle which is not shown clear, which is not shown with the thick bars, but this is the spindle which is connected at the middle of the aluminum disc. When the aluminum disc undergoes a rotation, the spindle will also experience the rotation, right? So the spindle, aluminum disc, as well as the series and shunt coils forms the driving system. Similarly, what is braking system? The braking magnet, so the permanent magnet here is responsible for producing the braking torque. So the aluminum disc as well as the permanent magnet forms the braking system. Similarly, third one is a registering system. The registering system, see here, or we can also call it as this as integrating system, because it is a energy meter is basically an integrating type instrument. Why it is called as integrating type instrument? We are measuring the integration of power. So the number of revolutions made by the aluminum disc inside an energy meter is proportional to the integration of power. Hence, we call this type of instrument as integrating instrument. In order to do that integrating process, or in order to do that registering mechanism or registering process, we are using a reduced, so we are using a reduced gearing system. Okay, so this is a larger gear and this is a medium gear and this is a smaller gear. Like this, the gearing is being reduced. So when the spindle rotates, automatically the gears will rotate. So which will convert this rotation into the number of units, the number of units consumed by the consumer. Okay. So the reduced gearing system or the reduced gearing mechanism is used as a registering system in case of energy meter, whereas the aluminum disc as well as the permanent magnet can be used, means can be the part of braking system, and the shunt coils, series coils, as well as the spindle, aluminum disc, all are part of driving system. Okay. Now here, this is another one which is missed here just now. So this is a shading loop which is in between the shunt coil and aluminum disc. We know what is the purpose of this shading loop. This shading loop will provide some extra torque during light load condition. Okay. Under light load condition, the frictional error will be lesser. Is it right? Under light load condition, the frictional error will be higher. Not sorry. Under light load condition, the frictional error will be higher, or the starting friction is always greater than the running friction. So you will have more effect of starting friction on the movement of aluminum disc under light load condition. Because of this friction, the aluminum disc will not at all move when the load is very much lesser. So in order to avoid that, we placed a shading loop below the shunt magnet or below the shunt coils, as well as below the shunt coils and above the aluminum disc. We are placing a shading loop which creates some extra flux. When the flux which is produced by the shunt coil links with the shading loop, there will be some induced EMF and it will also create some current, and due to this current you will give some extra flux. Extra flux means extra torque. Extra torque is necessary under light load condition at the starting itself. When the instrument is under running condition, we don't need that much amount of extra flux. So this is about the constructional diagram of single phase induction type energy meter with all the compensating devices included, right? So with this, I hope the theoretical explanation related to energy meter is completed. Okay. So firstly we have seen how we can produce a driving torque as well as braking torque in case of energy meter. Is it right? We have seen that the physics or the underlying principles involved in producing the driving torque as well as the braking torque is discussed as the first topic, and in the second topic we have seen the different types of errors and their compensations in case of single phase energy meter. Okay. While discussing the driving torque and braking torque itself, we have also seen this fact that the number of revolutions depends upon the energy consumed. Okay. And finally, we have seen the constructional diagram. So these are the things which we have covered related to single phase induction type energy meter, right?